Yesterday, Sayadaw briefly touched on the subject of the dependent origination, the causality of interaction of the mind and the body. So, and also Sayadaw applies the example for your better understanding. So as mentioned yesterday, there are three kinds of the vata, the cycle or the phenomena. The kilesa vata, the cycle or the mental defilement. Karma vata, the cycle or the karma. And the vipaka vata, cycle or the resultant phenomena. So starting from the moment of the one was born, so we start to enjoy the senses. When we were born as a baby, and we start to enjoy the kind nature from the mother, and we start to attach to our mother and his care, and so on. And later, when we got fully grown up, and then our senses become powerful, and then we start to enjoy sensual pleasure, and our egos also simultaneously become bigger and bigger. I'm so and so person, and so on. And later, when enjoying the sensual pleasure, sometimes we grasp the sense objects, arousing the strong craving and greed, just like a snake which cuts or grasps the frog or fox family. So in the same way, we sometimes grasp the sensual object family, and thus the upadana, very strong attachment take place. And then later the wrong view or the self and soul also take place in our heart. So it is the eye and who seeing, hearing, smelling, and so on. And it's the mind. So these are wrong views connected with the atta or ego. Thus the wrong view takes place, which is followed by the avijja, ignorance, and delusion. When we fail to observe the present object, there will be no chance for knowledge or wisdom. It's always result in avijja, ignorance, and delusion. So ignorance is called apatipatti avijja, and delusion is called miccha patipatti avijja in Pali. So in this way, based on the avijja, ignorance, and delusion, we falsely expect and hope to enjoy the sensual pleasures, just like a snake catching its victim and prey. So when we have the good attitude or mindset, and then we may perform some kinds of meritorious, the mundane meritorious, such as the giving, dana, or morality, sila, so which may lead us to the higher rebirth. And sometimes according to our mindset and mental attitude, we may have to commit evil deeds, wrong behavior. Thus we may have to suffer in the lower life. So as mentioned yesterday, the intention or volition is arise and disappear along with our activities. That is mental power, a type of energy lying dormant in our mind frame, in our mind process, moment to moment. That type of mental energy or mental power is called karma, non-technical karma, which can result in rebirth, next life. So it can be compared to our parents. So our parents, when they are prestigious and when they pass away, their name and fame still contributed to our lives. So in the same way, although the intention of volition disappear or pass away, its mental energy still remains as a dormant power, as a karmic energy in our mental process. And then thus we will be reborn in the next life, and then again when we were fully grown up and our senses become mature enough to enjoy the sensual pleasure, and we enjoy senses, and thus the greed, attachment, and a very strong craving take place. So in this way, the samsara, the cycle or the karma cycle or the mental defilement turning around and around is never ending. It's just like the liquid, which is called the liquid oil tree, which is called the sap. Through the sap, the fruit is spread all over the trees. In the same way, through this cycle or the mental defilements and the karma, our life is going around and around. So in the world there are several kinds of the human beings, and several kinds of the celestial beings, several kinds of the animal species. So just like a tree, the fruit tree, we take a fruit tree as example to compare to a living being. A fruit tree, as mentioned yesterday, have thanks to the sap, in due course of time, in the season is bear fruit and blue and blossom and bear fruit. So the liquid, the substance called sap is very important, which produce the fruits and the flowers. So in the same way, the intention, just like itself, can produce our mental and physical power activities, wholesome or unwholesome. And as a result, there is bear fruit or the rebirth. And then as a human being, when we were reborn, from the day we were reborn, we start to enjoy the sensual pleasure. As a human being, human sensual pleasure. As a celestial being, celestial pleasure. As a Brahma, jhanic pleasure. So all living beings enjoy the sensual pleasure. So these sensual pleasures are actually the true good. It's the fatal pleasure and a very dangerous pleasure. It can be compared to a sap of a tree. When the tree grows well, it should be supported by the good soil and a suitable amount of sun and air, or called the oxygen, and so on. And in this way, the trees grow bigger and bigger. So in the same way, our lives also become big, increase and bigger through the mental defilements and through our karmic energies. So it is said in the Pali text, the imasmai sati idam hoti. Where there is a certain thing, there is a necessary result take place. Just like the main root of a tree, when the tree has the very strong root, and through the sap it becomes fruitful. So when there is the causal factor, definitely, necessarily, the resultant phenomena take place. That is the law. So imasa obada idam obajati. Because this happens and this result takes place. That's the law of the conditioned phenomena. So the sap of the mental defilements, kilesa, is the main root of the cycle of suffering. So the first of all, ignorance. We don't know the mental and physical phenomena, mind and body are suffering. And moreover, we are under illusion. That under delusion, these mind and body are pleasurable. So that's the ignorance and the delusion. Based on that ignorance and delusion, we enjoy the seeing, hearing, smelling, and so on. And also we are firmly attached to the sensual pleasure. That's the ignorance, delusion, craving, and take place. So these are the cycle of the mental defilements, kilesa. So we do whatever we think good because of the ignorance or delusion. So we commit killing as we think is good or beneficial to us. We commit stealing because we think it's beneficial to us. We commit the sexual misconduct because we think it's the pleasurable. So we do whatever we think good, pleasurable, based on the ignorance and delusion. That's the set of the kilesa, the productive, the power of the kilesa. As a result of the kilesa, so we will be reborn in the next life, and samsara, the cycle of rebirth, turning round and round. So we need to learn how to the cycle of rebirth, turning round and round, compared to a sap of a tree, which can help the tree to become blue and blossom and fruitful, taking the air and water, oxygen around, and how the trees become bigger and bigger. So nowadays, the drug and illegal sex is a big problem, resulting in AIDS. So people, they don't see the negative aspect of the sensory pleasure. So they take it as a blissful feeling. So there is ignorance and delusion. So as a result, with the false hope to enjoy the blissful life, they become addicted to the unlawful sex and drug. Thus they have to pay the terrible price. So there is a jhana attachment, craving, and upadana, very fun attachment. And then later, because of these mental defilements, and later you definitely feel regret that it may be too late. So because of these evil behavior, people have to suffer from the ANS and HIV and so on. These ANS, HIV victims are very harmful to the human society. As everybody afraid to associate with them. So you should compare the mental defilements to such a terrible disease, and how horrible the mental defilements in our life. So these sensory pleasures are actually just temporary. The moment we are enjoying the sensory pleasure, these mental defilements become stronger and stronger. When we abuse the drugs, so you may experience a type of the pleasurable feeling. It's just a moment, it's just temporary, while the drugs still active. So the same with the illegal sex, is the pleasure you can have is just a moment, just temporary. So because of the ignorance and delusion, you cannot see the negative aspect of the sensory pleasure. So you desperately seek the sensory pleasure and enjoy. Finally, you are addicted to that. And so you finally fall victim to the sensory pleasure because of the ignorance and delusion. So which will lead you the great amount of suffering. So in the wake of the kilesa vada, the cycle of rebirth, the cycle of the mental defilement, the karma vada, the cycle of the karma, our activities will definitely necessarily take place. When the karma, cycle of the karma takes place, then the cycle of the resultant phenomena take place. So that's why it is imasmai sati idam hoti. When this is present, then that comes into existence. So when the karma vada is present, then kilesa vada definitely comes into existence. When the kilesa vada is come into existence, then the vipaka vada, the resultant phenomena, definitely follows. That's the law, that's the nature. So there's ignorance and delusion are very deep-seated in our heart. So we don't know the sensory pleasure are harmful to our moral life, spiritual life, and so we are lazy to practice. And also there's restraint of the sense pleasure. is actually very beneficial. But the people, they don't know that's ignorance. And also they think it's good, that's a delusion. Sometimes we think someone is harmful to our life. So we think this the only way to kill him is the best way. So that's wrong view, that's ignorance and delusion. So in this way, the seed or the woeful life become mature. So such a defilement will pull down our life into the woeful life. So we are normally attached to our family, our business, the girlfriends and the boyfriends. So we want to see, we want to hear the people we love. So we cannot avoid the mental defilements because of this ignorance. We rarely see the negative aspect of the sensual pleasure. So that's why we are lazy to do wholesome things. We are lazy to practice meditation. We are lazy to note the objects occurring to us with the ardent energy. So that's the laziness causes us degrade our quality of life. So we want to be comfortable. We want to enjoy the comfortable life. We don't want to make great effort in the practice. So there's the ignorance and a delusion. And because of these mental defilements, we don't practice. We don't put effort in the practice. We lazy. So we cannot develop mindfulness and concentration. We cannot make any remarkable progress in the practice. So in this way, we produce the seed of the woeful rebirth, lower life. So when we practice, we must focus our mind on the object with the full faith and energy, so that we can see the truth beyond the concept. But usually most of us, we rarely make effort in the practice. So we fail to practice. That failure is called Paṇḍitā. So in this way, the seed or the woeful life become grow bigger and bigger. So in brief, if you cannot stop the cycle or the mental defilement, then the cycle or the karma will turn around and around, followed by the cycle of the vipaka, the cycle of the resultant phenomena. So it will go on and on. As long as we cannot practice three trainings, sila, samadhi, panya, and overcome three forms of the mental defilements, respectively. Through the sila, the moral conduct, we can purify our physical behavior, verbal behavior, and overcoming the transgressive form of the mental defilement. So through the ignorance and delusion, we think these wrong behavior are the only way which can provide us the sensual pleasure. So because of this ignorance and delusion, we commit evil deeds. So as long as we cannot overcome those unwholesome evil mental states through the Vipassana practice, the cycle of the mental defilements, kilesa vata, will turn on and on, round and round. So through the Vipassana practice, we have to prevent our mind from the mental defilement, we have to stop the cycle of the mental defilement. When the mental defilement is coming in, we have to get rid of them by observing them the moment they take place. So in this way we can stop the active mental defilement from arising. And then later, when our concentration mindfulness becomes strong, leading to the mega enlightenment, then we can definitely rapidly uproot all kinds of mental defilements, including dormant form. So in brief, as long as the cycle of the mental defilement turning on and on, the cycle of the vipaka, the resultant phenomena follows. As long as we cannot develop the Eightfold Factors or the Noble Path, this cycle or the three kinds of cycle of the karma, kilesa, karma and vipaka turning on and on, around and around. So in the Abhidhamma Sangha, the manual of Abhidhamma, is a very remarkable Pali word, very meaningful Pali word, Dabhava Bhavibhava. That means the corresponding causes and a corresponding effects. The respective cause, respectively the results in the corresponding effects. So that's Dabhava Bhavibhava. Pali was very interesting and very remarkable. The now Sayadaw has been explaining the how the vada, the cycle of the karma, cycle of the kilesa, karma and vipaka turning on and on so far. Tomorrow Sayadaw will explain how we can stop the cycle of the karma, kilesa, karma and vipaka. So now our time is up. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu.